What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. For those of you stopping by for the first time, if you see something that you like here today, please don't forget to subscribe at some point. Those of you stopping by that have been in before, welcome back to TLTG Reviews, my friends. Glad you came to see me. So today, I'm bringing you, based on my personal experience from whether it be my wife, co-workers, or strangers, the 7 fragrances that I tend to see drive women crazy. Stay tuned. That's right, lady killers. It's just the God's honest truth. Some are mass appealing, some have a sexy, seductive quality, but the reactions I've gotten most of the time when I've worn these are undeniable. Jumping right off into the first one, it's one that comes in 3 different concentrations, and based on my experience, it doesn't matter which one. It's just something about this DNA that's very seductive, very sexy, very enjoyable to the opposite sex. It's from Chanel. It's Bleu de Chanel. This happens to be the parfum. I've noticed co-workers, as well as myself with this one in particular, they wear the eau de parfum. That's usually the case, is the eau de parfum, or in the situation I have with the parfum, they get a whiff of this. It's familiar, they know what it is, and they want to sit there and give me a backstory on why they love it and who wears it around them that makes them love it. It's something about Bleu de Chanel. This stuff is tried and true for being a citrusy blue type of fragrance. This thing pulls in some serious compliments. Women love the way it smells. That's why the Bleu de Chanel line is the fragrance, any of the 3 that you can just get that bottle and that be what you wear for everything. Because at the end of the day, it's enjoyable, it's versatile, and women really love the way this thing smells. And that's Bleu de Chanel from Chanel, any one of the 3 concentrations. Next, this is kind of a date night tried and true type of thing. My son's been wearing this one lately because he's discovered that his girlfriend really enjoys how this one smells. My wife loves the way this one smells. My mother loves the way this one smells. It's just, women love the way this one smells. That's why it's so popular and so many men want to wear it. It's from Yves Saint Laurent. It's Lana Dillon. Yep. Even the heavily reformulated version, it does smell good. That beautiful, sweet, spicy cardamom. It just works. That's why so many bottles have been sold. It's the most popular fragrance on Fragrantica for a reason. So many people look into it because so many people on YouTube have talked about why it's worth having. And then once you get a sample and you try it out and experience it for yourself, you like it, you see what your girlfriend or your wife or the co-worker that you got a crush on or whatever, when they give you the reaction when they smell it, you end up getting a bottle. This is a great fragrance to really dabble your toe into fragrances that are going to kind of drive women crazy, because this one absolutely does. Has for many years, whether it be the older batches with the darker juice that perform better, or the newer batches like this that, you know, still 7-hour fragrance, pretty heavy projection in that first hour and a half, 2 hours. It still does the trick. It's still tried and true. Women still love the way this smells. That's La Nuit de l'Homme from Yves Saint Laurent. Next, this one in particular has garnered me more compliments from women than anything other than Mercedes-Benz Club, which is my wife's favorite fragrance. And no, that one's not on here today because it's just one specific woman over and over with that one. But this is from Paco Rabanne. It's Invictus Aqua. Every time I wear this, co-workers, it's really a famous thing with former co-workers of mine. They want to smell it. 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 Not just women, but mostly women really love the way this smells. It's very mass appealing. It's very aquatic. This is one of those really fresh fragrances that women just enjoy. I urge you guys to get a sample of this. It doesn't have as much of a sweet bubblegum smell as the original does. This is much fresher, much more aquatic. Has a little bit of powderiness from the violet. Decent performer, not a powerhouse by any means, but this does the trick. This is one of those mass appealing fragrances that once they get a whiff of you, they want you to hang out for a little bit so they can smell it on you. This is a lady killer DNA. I can't speak for the ones that smell like it. In my experience, they don't have the same effect, but the actual original Invictus Aqua, and not a clone or inspired by fragrance of it, the 2018 to newer batches, just does the trick. Lady killers. Some of you aren't going to get it because you may have never had that experience with this fragrance, but I'm telling you from personal experience, this is a lady killer. They love the way Invictus Aqua smells. And next, for the longest time, I tried to deny this thing's effects because so many people wear it. You know, it's kind of the modern day Aqua De Joe is how I like to look at it, because it is the most popular fragrance in the last several years, to say the least. I only have a sample, a carded sample of the Eau de Parfum. Dior Sauvage. There's no denying this one. I got my carded sample right there. I went through a sample of the Eau de Toilette. I'm almost done with this sample of the Eau de Parfum. Now that I'm not in San Antonio around 6 co-workers that wear Dior Sauvage, debating on getting a bottle because it is enjoyable. I do like this one more than Eau de Toilette. It's not as loud, it's a little bit deeper, but this is undeniable. This is a make 'em go gaga fragrance. It's easy to wear, it's easy to throw on. As long as ambroxan, you're not sensitive to it. If you're not sensitive and prone to headaches from ambroxan or clog up your sinuses or anything like that, because it does have that effect on some people, in the air, this is one of the most recognizable, highest complimented fragrances ever created. For women. It's not a fragrance for women, but it was designed for women. You know what I mean? This is what they enjoy smelling. This is even more so than Bleu de Chanel. It doesn't matter which one, the Eau de Toilette, the Eau de Parfum. I haven't tried the Parfum, but I'm sure it has a similar effect as these do. But do yourself a favor and try it. Okay? Go out there and experience for yourself, because it's loud enough. They're going to smell you, and they're going to enjoy the way it smells. This is a bona fide lady killer. I didn't know if I wanted to put it at the beginning of the video, the middle, or the end, because this had to go in the video, because it's no denying that women love the way Dior Sauvage smells. This is another one that if you can dig it, you can just wear this every day and it's going to work. And that's Dior Sauvage, the Eau de Toilette, the Eau de Parfum. And I haven't tried it, but I'm guessing the Parfum will do the same. Next, another mass appealing Dior Sauvage-esque bluish type of fragrance. This one's more on the amberwood, juicy pear, and suede. When I say that, some of you may know what fragrance I'm talking about. It's from Coach. It's the original Coach for men. This is actually one of my personal favorite fragrances. I can attest to how this thing works. This stuff is incredible. I love the way it smells. It's very versatile. Doesn't perform extremely well. Pretty powerful in that first hour as far as projection and sillage. When people smell this one on you, oh man. I can tell you from personal experience with coworkers especially, and a few customers in the past, when they got a whiff on this after I had refreshed midday or had walked in the morning, it was always, ooh, what are you wearing? Man, that smells good. Coach for men. Not a lot of people really garner a whole lot of conversations about it anymore. It doesn't really get talked about. I know I bring it up quite a bit because I'm an avid believer in wearing this fragrance because I've seen the effects. I love the way it smells, and those around me really love the way this thing smells. Coach for Men is a bona fide lady killer that tends to drive women crazy. Get yourself a bottle. They're not extremely expensive, or get a sample and try it out for yourself. This has a similar effect to Dior Sauvage and Bleu de Chanel. Doesn't have the freshness of an Invictus Aqua, but it's in that same family somewhere in between Bleu de Chanel and Dior Sauvage, and that's Coach for Men. Next, in this situation, you could really put pretty much any of the fragrances in the line here. It's from Giorgio Armani. It's an Aqua De Joe, but it might not be the one you're thinking. It's Aqua De Joe Absolute. It's something about the fruitiness with this, that extra sweetness, kind of in the family of Invictus Aqua in the opening, but doesn't really smell like it. But it has that marine freshness, that aquaticness, but that patchouli dry down in this one really separates it. It changes to a different fragrance. Was actually having a conversation yesterday with Matt from Georgia Gent about this specific fragrance. And the way he described the dry down was kind of staticky. That's a good way to describe that. I even told him that's a good word for that, actually. It kind of has a scratchy, staticky kind of feel to it in the transitional dry down phase, like, you know, right when the dry down's hitting, that early stages of the dry down. But don't let that deter you the way I'm describing it. If you smell it, you'll understand what I'm talking about. But when you walk by with this one on, especially in that like first 3 hours, because they can really smell you in that first 3 hours, this is a bona fide lady killer. This stuff is great. It got a lot of mixed reviews when it first came out, but don't let YouTube detour you or any type of negative review that you may come across, because there's plenty of positive ones about it out there as well. This stuff works. Women love the way this smells. This still has that Aqua De Joe DNA, but a fruitier, not really fresher, but fruitier take on that DNA that's more intensified on the patchouli and the dry down. Compliment factor is high on this one. Ladies love the way this fragrance smells. This isn't going anywhere anytime soon. This is a flanker that's going to stay for a while because it sells. Because guys buy it because their lady loves it. Aqua De Joe Absolute. The original could have went here. Profumo could have went here. Hell, Absolute Instinct could have went here. But it's not everyone's favorite. I enjoy it. But I haven't gotten anything from the ladies with that. But with this does the trick. I sprayed it on my wrist last night. My wife said, "Ooh, wow, that's strong. What is that?" Yes, Aqua De Joe Absolute. And then last, but most certainly not least, this fragrance, ladies love it. That's why guys buy it. It's got a Versace Medusa head on the jewel on the front. People buy it because it's Versace. People buy it because it's versatile. People buy it because it's not real expensive. And people buy it because ladies love it. Versace, Dillon Blue. It's not for everybody. I get that. But there's no denying the effects. Compliment factor is very high on this one. This is a lady killer. Ladies love the way Dillon Blue smells. That's why, same thing as before with Aqua De Joe Absolute and Dior Sauvage and all these others. The reason they sell a lot of bottles of this, because ladies like how this smells on their man or on a man in general. This is another undeniable fragrance. Some people in the comments may say, "Oh man, I'm not a fan of Dillon Blue." This ain't about if you like it. Ladies like this. There's no denying that. It's great. You can have it in, you know, that mid 40s, high 40s range on FragranceNet, which is linked below. It just works. You know, it took a little while to grow on me. I wasn't its biggest fan at first, because the opening can be a bit much, and then once you let it settle down, dry down's very beautiful. Transitional phase to dry down, very beautiful on this fragrance. Still a solid performer, however many batches later, batch variations later. Still a great fragrance, still worth having, and it just works. This fragrance drives women crazy. They love the way it smells. When you're in the beginning of a relationship, if this is the fragrance you wear on your first date, this is the fragrance she's going to fall in love with and want you to wear all the time. Be careful, guys. If you're not a big fan of it, but you know it works, you might get stuck wearing it. Make sure it's one you enjoy too, because this is a bona fide lady killer. Versace Dillon Blue. It's undeniable. Well, that's my 7, guys. There's a lot more that could have went here. I could have made it a 10, 15, so on and so forth, but I figured 7 would be the sweet spot for a video like this. And until next time, do me a real quick favor. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. Do appreciate all the feedback. I love hearing from you guys. I'm sure there's a lot of these that you have, and I'm sure you totally understand where I'm coming from with a lot of these based on your experiences as well. This type of stuff, ladies just enjoy the scents in the air on these fragrances, especially stuff like Dior Sauvage. I mean, my God, that stuff just works. And until next time, I will say, if you get your hands on any of these, you give them a spray now, yeah, most likely you'll thank me later. Have a good one, guys.